Well, about a year ago, I recorded different tools of music for using to put scripture to song. So here's another tool. This is the Zoom Rhythm Track 234. Actually, this is back from the late 90s. They're a lot fancier now, but this would certainly do all you need. You could do a lot more than this with a DAW, a digital audio workstation, on your computer, but maybe you don't want to fuss with that and you'd rather have something like this, very portable. So it would just provide the bass and the drums for backdrop for your song, maybe just for a rough draft for creating songs. But let me just demonstrate a little bit of how you'd set it up. Of course, you can get much more detailed demonstrations on YouTube. But just to get us started here, first of all, set the pre-count and the click volume for the metronome. So you'd hit this function key, and then you have to hit where does it say metronome? So pre-count, there it is. So we'll set it at 1 there. That's good. And then we have to set the click volume for the metronome. So again, you click the function key and you click volume. And that's all the way up to 90. That's great. And then we have to set the tempo and the time signature. So again, everything is here with this function key. So you're going to click that and you're going to click the time signature. And I'm on a preset here, so I can't do it there. So I'm going to hit function and hit time signature, so it's in 4/4. All right, and do it again, but this time we'll hit the click volume for the metronome. I did that. And later we could click and we do mix, so we'd set the volume levels for each track. You have 4 tracks here, drummer A, B, C, and then the bass. So we could set the volumes up for those. And we need to set the number of measures for our section that we're going to record here. And then that becomes a section of the song. And then maybe, so that's the verse, let's say. And then for a chorus, let's say you have a different section. And let's say, you know, the chorus is 4 verses and the verse was 8 verses, 8 measures. And maybe have an outro, let's say that's 2 measures, so then that would be tracks 1, 2, and 3. And then each of those tracks you take and pop them into what's called a song. So right now we're on pattern mode for creating patterns, and then we'll be in song mode for putting those pads together into a song. So we need to set the number of measures for our pattern. You click function, and you click bar length. Now it's preset to 2 bars. I'm just going to go with that for now. But then we're going to have, we have to set the kits for the drums and the bass. So each drum here can have a separate kit. So you'd simply hold down the thing there. Whoops, you got to keep it held down. And then you find the kit number that you like. I think I remember I liked 116. That was like a jazz outfit. And then you got to do the same thing for, you know, drum B, drum C. And then for the bass, same thing. You got to hold that down and you got to change it to what you wanted. I think it was number 16 for like a upright bass sound. But all those sounds, they come in the manual here. Well, you can download it online too. So like these drum kits, you know, they're all listed there. And then the bass sounds all listed there, so that's helpful to not have to scroll so much. All right, then we have to quantize each track. So quantizing just means that, you know, your playing here is probably not just spot on. Mine isn't, so it'll make it spot on for you. So maybe for the first drummer here, I would say function and I'd say quantize. Maybe for laying it down to begin with, I just want to go to, you know, quarter notes. So I'm just going to be playing quarter notes, nice and simple. And then for my, you know, next, maybe the drummer B, I'm going to put that at 8th notes. And maybe for the bass, I put that at 16th notes to quantize that. What else did I have here? Setting the notes for the bass. So you hit function and you hit bass key. And so this here, what is it? Well, it says E2. That's a low E on a bass. Okay, fine, I'll leave it that way. And so on to where all these keys then would represent notes on a bass. So I just left it as C, D, E, F, G, A, B up the C scale there. But I could change that if I wanted to. And let's see, what else do we have to do to get set? All right, set the volume for each track. Set the swing amount. So how much swing do you want it to have? So again, you could just click function, and then you click swing, and set how much swing you want it to have. Maybe a little bit I'll do. Alrighty. So that's about all there is to it. Well, let me just give you some of their prefab settings so you can hear what it sounds like. There's a setting. There's another prefab pattern. Another prefab pattern, so we could go on all day like that. They have 99 of them. So what I did is I'm just giving this as a precursor to when I'll actually use this thing on my next video, and kind of doing like I did a year ago where I took scripture, in this case the Rosary, and set it to chanting or music. So I did the same thing here, like I took the Apostles' Creed there, and you see I put them up into measures. So when I do it, I'm going to be following along to make sure I stay in the right measure. And I'll probably have to bring it all the way down to 55 beats per minute. So that would be one track, the Apostles' Creed, and the next track then would be the Our Father, and the next track would be Hail Mary. So I have those right there and divided up into measures. And so I'd have those three tracks, and like I said, I would pop them into a song. So I won't bother explaining that when I do that next time. I'll just do it. And that's about it.